I'm throwing a
Hey, you know what it is, y'all. You know what it is. We are Savage AF right here on Marcus King Presents Dash Comedy. This week and for the next few weeks, we are recording live from VibeFree.tv studios, Black-owned studios in Inglewood. So shout out to that. You know Savage as fuck. It's about the community. You know what we do, y'all. I'm your boy, Black Pedro. Usually after that sentence, we hear a young man, extremely light-skinned, but hardcore dark in his heart, say, and I'm comedian Shang. But Shang is not here with us this week. He is currently under the knife in a medical facility somewhere in a CIA black ops site, being recuperated, made into a better, new, improved Shang, a $6 million Shang. We have the technology to make him better. So all prayers, shout-outs, and well wishes go out to Shang as he gets into a speedy recovery, y'all. But we are Savage AF, so enough of that soft bullshit. I'm your boy Black Pedro. In this week with me, she's been on the show before, gonna hold it down as a co-host once again, because she got it like that. Ver funny lady. When she's not out on these cruise ships making families laugh and getting it in, on the high seas, she's here with us at Savage AF, the one and only Miss Jaylyn Bishop. Thank you for being here. We appreciate you.
Thank you.
All day.
Thank you.
Jaylyn, for the people, let them know where they can follow you, find you.
You can follow me, JaylynBishop.com or on Instagram, just Jaylyn Bishop.
Okay.
That's it.
That's
it.
it.
That's
Jaylyn.
Jaylyn Bishop.
That's right.
Like the church, except for I don't touch the children.
You know it. That's
exactly
amen.
like that. Amen.
Amen. For those who are not listening to it, or for those who are not watching us, I'm sorry, on YouTube,
right.
And you can't see the chyrons with the spelling of the names and stuff. Get on that, okay? Get the whole experience in. You can go to YouTube and watch us on Dash Comedy Radio. That is the channel on YouTube. That's why we're here at VibeFree.tv. Get my beautiful mug in there. You see, this is my good side. That's why I'm sitting in this chair and not that one. That's what that is.
Oh, that's your good side?
It's the best one I got, God damn it. Anyways, how was your weekend, Jaylyn? Were you on a ship this weekend?
No, I was home.
Okay, good.
Actually, I was hanging out with Shang most of the weekend.
I'm sorry to hear that, girl.
Yeah. So Shang, I just want to say, I got your job, son.
Yeah. See how she do? She hang out with you just long enough.
Snatch.
She's like, how many sick days you taking? Yeah, we know what it is. But no, speedy recovery once again to Shang.
Just doing some shows around town. I did Ramona Stevens, you know the comedian Ramona Stevens. Yep. She has a wonderful show that is all about women empowerment. Awesome. So I went and did that show. It's Ladies Love Laughter.
Can't wait to get on it.
Yeah, all you have to do is take your outie out.
Okay, all right.
Turn it into an innie.
Okay, there we go.
And you are on that mug.
A mini innie.
And then I did the Ventura Harbor Comedy Club this weekend.
Yeah.
So I had a great time.
Good stuff. Me, I spent most of my weekend again deleting people that I'm following off Instagram. Like, just stop following my. I've been on this campaign of, it's like a liquidation.
So why are you stop following people?
I don't know. You know, it's like I got to a certain point where I just had all the, like, I was almost followed by as many people as I was following. Oh. And it was just like, well, who are all of these people? And then sometimes you see a person who's just like, I don't know this person. And then you unfollow and you realize they weren't even following me. So fuck it. What am I doing? Why?
Well, what if you unfollow somebody that really is watching you? That's my thing, because I don't know how
Sometimes they get at me. But for the most part, honestly, if I know you, then I know you, and then I'm probably not going to unfollow you. Mm-hmm. And if I don't know you, and you're putting out that bullshit, then I'm probably going to unfollow. And then most of the times you're not following me anyway. So it's social media. It's not even real. These ain't your real friends on social media. So it doesn't matter. You know what I mean? Your real friends are in real life. That's where friends are, real life. The kids don't know that.
They don't know that.
No.
They don't know that.
Well, we're Savage AF, guys. Make sure you follow us on all social media platforms at Savage AF Radio, right? You can follow us on the Facebook. Make sure you do that before the Russians completely take over the site.
Did you say on the Facebook?
On the Facebooks. On all of the books. All of the volumes of the Facebooks. You can follow us. Do that before the Russians come in.
They're already in.
Savage AF is the page. That is the fan page on there. And then if you're riding around in your car, just know that Dash Radio is already locked into your 2018 or newer vehicle, we're right there in the dash. So you're one step away. Just look for that Marcus King Presents Dash comedy, channel there, and then
Click, click.
3 to 5 every Tuesday. You're getting that Savage AF in your ears. If you're on YouTube, it's all up in your eyes. Okay.
You can drive savage as fuck.
Yeah, baby. All right. Well, speaking of savage as fuck, all right, we are the only Savage as Fuck. For those who don't know, we are the only show on the interwebs, on the net medias that
Interwebs.
Yes, that talks politics, hot topics, and current events with the sole purpose of saying fuck your feelings. Okay, so we really don't care how you feel about these things. We're just gonna bring you as many facts and truths as we can. Okay, and just in your face, raw. So don't hold back, Jaylyn. Full disclosure, too.
Yeah, because my mother's watching this, so Mom, they made me say savage as fuck. I wouldn't want to say savage as fuck.
We told her say AF. And
I
she
wanted
said
to say
fuck that.
AF, but they keep saying, say savage as fuck. I don't talk like that. I don't talk like that.
She wasn't raised that way. We thank you, Mama Bishop.
Or to say anybody's fuck their feelings. Now that's something that my grandma would say all the time. Fuck your feelings.
That's it. And that's when things was real. Like
Fuck yo
2
feelings.
generations
It's
away.
fuck yo.
Fuck yo.
Oh, okay.
Y-O.
Well, you have to be recommended when somebody has to tell you from the side,
Right.
it's fuck yo feelings. And she's not even a sister girl. She was like, it's fuck yo feelings.
Yo, Y-O.
I'm like,
We
okay.
got super producer Cassie Dang in the
Yes,
house.
Cassie Dang told
Playing
me
the voice
fuck
of
yo
God
feelings.
today. You can't see her, but she's like,
She's
God, is
the
that
voice in the sky.
that's what it is. So,
Thank
speaking
you
of
guys. Thank you
savage,
for correcting that. I appreciate it.
all day. So speaking of savage, right? And full disclosure, for those who don't know, Jaylyn Bishop is a resident Black Republican. Although I will say not a Trump supporter, but she is a Republican.
I'm a Republican. I am a card-carrying Republican, and I don't care what you guys think. Fuck your feelings.
Oh, don't ever try and use savage or fuck against me, okay? I made up that's my slogan.
And I know
right?
Shang is in the hospital room screaming right now. Shang, fuck your feelings, because I am a Republican. Now, it doesn't mean because you're a Republican that you are going along with the bullshit.
I get it. So there's a lot of bullshit
There's
going on.
a lot of bullshit.
So let's talk about it. As our resident Republican, Black Republican, you
Why
guys,
gotta be a Black Republican?
because there's 3 of you, so it's like you might as well. You better cluster. You and Kanye need to call each other. And, no, but seriously though, because I'm not here to judge you on that or anything like that.
Good.
It's all love. But that being said, a lot of bullshit is going on. We've got this impeachment going on,
Right.
And things are not.
It's an inquiry.
It's
an inquiry.
It's leading to a place. So today,
Okay.
today, we had Taylor. I believe his name is Bill Taylor.
Bill Taylor.
Leading ambassador to the Ukraine, who basically took the whole Trump argument that nothing's going down in
Yeah, he took it
Ukraine,
a
that
different way.
President Trump was not doing a quid pro quo situation with the Ukrainian president, but Taylor was like, nah, son.
That's what it is.
The other dude, what's his name, Scanlon or whatever?
Yes.
He told him that the president told me. See, it was like one
But
of them.
see, it's one of
it's
those-
one of them.
it's a
It
telephone
was
game.
okay. It was
He
a little
told
bit like
me
he
that
said.
I
He
told
had
him,
said. He was like he had said that the president had said that we was gonna hold this military aid until we got some investigations on Biden and the energy company in Ukraine that Hunter Biden was working for. So
But he didn't hear it himself.
he didn't hear him say it himself.
So
He-
you can't,
but-
how are you testifying? I thought you couldn't even testify in court if you didn't hear it yourself. So how are you testifying it that somebody else told you, that somebody else told them, that somebody else told them that this is what was said? You can't testify like that.
I get
That
it.
doesn't even hold water.
But not in a 3rd grade telephone game. But
Not
when,
ever.
But when we get up to the White House, though, when we get up to the White House level, congressional levels, higher levels of government, we're going to ask questions like, well, where does this accusation then come from? Like, where did Taylor hear this from? Right? Like,
Yeah, well, where did he hear it from? Let's see the person that he heard it from. Let's hear the whistleblower. Let's hear.
well, no, it wasn't even the whistleblower. It's the other ambassador. What's his name?
Yeah,
I'm gonna pull
but
it
he
up.
said he heard it from the other ambassador.
Right.
who also wasn't in the room.
But who had a phone conversation allegedly with Trump, right?
No, that was from another person's phone call. It's not his phone call.
Hold on, I'm looking up the resume here.
Yeah,
Hold on.
so I'm like, and I'm not a Trump supporter by any means, and I'm not saying that impeachment is not correct for this man.
Right.
But what I am saying is you do have to follow some rules. You can't just be, and I'm not saying Democrats are making things up, but it's like everything they are like,
these are members of Trump's administration in all fairness, right? So Taylor is Trump's ambassador to the UK.
He is.
He's lead ambassador. And what Taylor is saying is that Gordon Sondland,
yes,
another ambassador to the Ukraine,
yes,
had this he's saying that Sondland told him about this conversation with the president.
Yeah, but somebody could tell you that I slept with them. That don't mean I did. You weren't there. You weren't sitting on. That's not. No. I'm not going for that. I want to hear the actual tapes. Let's hear the tape, because all phone calls are recorded.
So this becomes a bit of a problem, I think. And I know you're not a Trump supporter, but you are Team Republican. What if we can't get that proof? I mean, can we just kind of look at...
You can't convict somebody if you can't get proof. You can't just, no, that's not going to work.
I mean, you might not get that conversation, but at some point, you got to believe some of these people, right? I mean, they were vetted to become ambassadors and, senators, lawyers in some cases, advisors to the president. True. So at some point, they have to have some validity as a voice in general, as somebody that should be believed on certain things. So why wouldn't we give a certain amount of benefit of doubt to somebody like Taylor when he's saying that, yeah, this is how a conversation came to me?
I'm not saying that you can't.
And I don't think that we've necessarily heard Sondland say anything.
He hasn't said
anything different either. So yeah, I'm just thinking about the way
he hasn't said anything different, but he hasn't said anything.
Okay, I'll give you that.
So he hasn't said anything, and so if you're not saying anything, your silence. I know silence is gold, but why isn't he saying anything? Is he not saying anything because it didn't happen? Is he not saying anything because it did happen? He's just not saying anything. So we don't actually know, and until we really find out. And a lot of people I think this is the thing that we need to figure out about the whole impeachment thing.
Right.
Impeachment is not prison. All it is you're going to lose your job.
Not necessarily even that, right?
Because Bill Clinton was impeached he stayed.
Right, but he was not convicted by the Senate.
Right.
And for office removal.
And we don't even have enough, there's not enough Republicans. I think it was like maybe something like 6% Republicans. At this point, it's 84% Democrats that are wanting to go along with the impeachment.
I do believe we are at 51%, though, nationwide among Americans.
Right, and I'm not saying that it's
not. Not just for impeachment, but also for removal.
For removal.
Where do you stand on that, if you don't mind?
I think he should definitely be removed. Okay. He shouldn't have even been placed in.
Okay, got you.
like he should not have even been placed in.
Amens that.
But I mean, you had Hillary.
Wasn't my favorite candidate.
And I'm like, come on,
It's a better choice than Trump.
It was definitely a better choice than Trump.
I mean, but
everything is a better choice than Trump.
So at this point, you're down for the removal.
Oh, I was not down for the coming in.
For the voting in of him. Okay, cool. Well,
I think
I do though hear a little bit of that argumentative voice or the doubt in some of the information that's coming to us. And it just seems like as each day unfolds with the inquiry, and the point of the inquiry is to inquire, ask questions, find out, figure out what did happen, who made what calls. Because we might not ever get the actual phone call and hear the thing, see a video of it. Life doesn't always happen like that.
You should have the phone call. Every phone call is recorded. Everything this man does is recorded. So why wouldn't there be the phone call?
Well, I mean,
why wouldn't there be the phone call?
You'd have to go to like the NSA to get those calls because they're the ones taping everybody's phone calls.
But if you're getting ready to be impeached and you're losing your job, and we'll just call him a victim, but he's not necessarily a victim, but shouldn't the defendant have a right to defend himself? And he cannot defend himself if the tape isn't shown, right?
I mean,
we can't hear the tape.
something, but that's why we bring in witnesses, because witnesses are considered a piece of evidence, right? Like, so to a certain degree, that's why people are being subpoenaed. Sondland, Taylor,
Right.
It's because, okay, we might not have this physical, completely damning thing, but we have a person who is
Heard it from another person.
but it should be considered a credible person, I think, to a certain degree, right? Like,
Is anybody in Trump's cabinet
administration-
credible?
Well, at the point in which
No.
they finally come out and say something, maybe, who knows, maybe.
I think the only thing that I would have a serious, I mean, obviously I have a serious issue with the verbiage that was used. And like people
By Trump, you mean by Trump? And
You know,
just to clarify for those at home.
basically the quid pro quo.
The quid pro quo.
And that's
this is a situation where Trump, in speaking to the Ukrainian president,
Yes.
is like, we're ready to give this military aid that Congress has already approved. It's already approved. He's like, we're willing to give it, but I need a favor. I need a favor, though.
But first,
He threw in that word.
around.
He threw in that word, though, which
Though.
is to say,
And it's I think the reason why you can't necessarily believe the media, and that's where I have a problem with.
right.
It's not the fake news or anything like that, but they keep giving you the same verbiage. Nobody is saying, like, it's not like a conversation like right now.
Right.
We're hearing the same verbiage over and over and over and over.
Right.
Like, we need to stop putting Trump on everything. I don't even call him Trump. I call him the anti, because he's like,
I call him Trumpty Dumpty.
he's like the Antichrist, but it would be disrespectful to the Antichrist to call him the Antichrist.
Or any of your mother's sisters, your aunties.
Or your auntie. We got to treat him like, just ignore him.
Yeah.
Put him at like a relative at the little kids' table.
I've always said
The
that.
ones that's like uneven, put him there, leave him alone. He'll lose his own mind.
I've always said that we need to worry about his supporters and the people that help him.
Yeah, don't worry
do this
about
crazy
him.
shit. Not necessarily just him, right? So,
I mean, it's the things that he says, like when he said today that this is, you know, he stopped saying witch hunt and now he says that it's like a lynching. Well,
pardon me, sir. Pardon me, sir.
I'm like,
that is a
nah.
line in the sand
I
which
was
you
like,
do not cross.
No, son, that ain't no. I mean,
Across this
if your
line,
boss
you do
said,
not,
would you
sir."
rather be lynched from a tree or fired? You know what? I don't even use this shit. Go ahead, take the test.
Yeah.
You gonna leave?
This is my stapler.
Just I don't use this shit at home. Go ahead, take it.
Well, speaking of leaving and not
Leaving.
taking shit, your girl, my girl, I'm starting to really like her now. Nancy Pelosi. I don't know if you heard about what she did, but she just said
Boss move.
she went savage AF, just like we do right here on Marcus
Yes.
King Presents Dash Comedy, right? Nancy Pelosi, getting on this topic, in light of, in the face of your president, Trumpty Dumpty, pulling, erratically pulling troops out of northern Syria, leaving the Kurds out to dry, leaving northern Syria for the Russians, for ISIS, and for Iran to take over. In the face of that, Nancy Pelosi just got her little delegation together and went to Afghanistan. Just fire up the jet, baby.
For the weekend.
For
That's
the
a
weekend.
boss move
When
right
you
there.
Afghanistan for Kabul for the weekend, you know what I'm saying? Hit that real quick. And basically, I see it as, and I think we're all viewing it as an independent, peacekeeping, face-saving mission for the region, for us in the region.
But how much peace can you keep in a weekend? Because
Well-
you think this is it. She left on Friday.
Right.
She didn't get there till Saturday.
Right.
She came back on Monday.
Yeah. Well,
That's not a lot of FaceTime. That's jet lag. That woman didn't learn nothing.
Well, okay.
She just spent more money.
Oh, stop. No, no, listen, what really happens is we need to reach out and rebuild some of these relationships, right? Because now, I mean, George H.W. Bush was the first president to leave
Yes.
the Kurds out to dry. And now Donald Trump right now is doing it again. And I think it's building this reputation globally that the United States is a nation that you can't trust when they say, we're going to fight with you, we're going to stand with you, we're going to go through this thing with you.
But
You know,
how
like-
long do you go with somebody? Like how long, if I keep starting to fight with everybody, how long do you stand and fight with me?
We might not.
You miss your dinner, you miss
That might not be something that we
you gotta
can.
get out.
That might not be something that you can answer definitively in the onset of it. But I would say that the time to not pull out is while you're actively in conflict with Syrian forces, with Russian, Turkish forces invading. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
Whenever the time it is to pull out, this wasn't it.
Well,
And
I
I
don't
think
think-
there's a general consensus among even the Republican Party, like the political side of it, and maybe not the supporters, the voters, but definitely politicians who, at this point, have definitely recognized that this was an erratic and harmful move for the United States, sort of politically. But what I'm really trying to get at, though, is that Nancy Pelosi, it seems, is taking it upon herself to try and repair that, and it's definitely a big fuck you to Trumpty Dumpty on her behalf to say, you know, we're going to get these things done ourselves, and you're not going to drag this nation down this hole, you know, without
A
fight.
further pull-out hole.
I mean, yeah, listen.
Because even you said you never know when to pull out.
And
Have you ever known when to pull out?
Oh, I know. My timing is impeccable, ladies.
No.
Fuck with me.
I have 7 siblings. My father's pull-out game was bad.
You're
I'm
right.
telling you, you never know when to pull out because you might think, okay, I shouldn't pull out. I'm not about to, and you never know. So I think that's a no-win situation. Either if you stay too long, he's not going to come. You know, you're not going to come.
Hey-yo.
Yeah, no one is going to be happy because we're staying too long. No one's going to be happy because you pulled out too soon. There's no way. Pull out, the word pull out means it's a 50-50 chance.
I get you, but realistically, we know that this was not the time. Like,
Well, when is
it's
the
like
time?
it's like pulling out, and then half an hour later, you're like, oh, here I come. You know what I mean? Like, it wouldn't. You could have stayed in a little longer, dog. You know what I mean?
But you
Stay in the
never
fight
know.
a little
But that's
longer.
no, because that's the same thing. You never know when the partner is about to come. So you got to keep going and blow your knees out or your back out. I'm not saying that he should have done it right now, but I'm saying that there was no way for him to win. That's a no-way win situation. You never know when to pull
I
out.
gotta disagree, but no. Okay, I agree with you on that point. We don't know when to pull out, right? We never known when to pull out of Afghanistan or Iraq, and any of that, right? But there are certain times when it's obvious that it's not time to pull out. So all I'm saying is that it's obvious that right now, like he could have won, or at least not lost, if he stayed in right now, right? There's like nobody in the military community that agrees with this. Like this is.
Well, military, that's your job. Why? That's
No. But I mean, like, those guys don't want to live there forever either. But
True.
They know that there's a responsible time to pull out and an irresponsible time. And I think there's a general consensus that right now Trump did this at an irresponsible time in an irresponsible way. And
Well, what is the benefit? That's what everyone keeps saying, that Russia's going to benefit. But no one's saying how Russia's going to benefit. What's the benefit to Russia? What's the benefit?
So just that, what is the benefit to the Middle East in general?
Yeah, what's the benefit? Oil.
No, okay, oil. All day long.
Our oil is, I don't know about you, but gas is $5.
Yeah, and no, it's never meant to help that. It's about power and control.
True.
Of a resource that we still, you know, at this point, we value it very highly, especially in this country. That's why our ties are so strong with Saudi Arabia.
True.
And countries like that. That's why we, wanted a foothold in Iraq and fought for so long and things like that. That's why we fight against Iran and their sort of power structures, right? So, and in all of this, right, our main other world power that we had always been kind of adversarial with over this territory is Russia.
Right.
So now all of a sudden under this president, you've got a guy who buddies up with the Russian President Putin and completely...
They play cousins.
He completely just denies our own intelligence community and sides with Putin and says, but he said he didn't do it. So what you want from the man, right? You take that, right? You take the fact that one of the first things Putin did when he took over in Russia was...
Bought a Donald Trump T-shirt.
But he consolidated and took over Russian oil companies.
True.
And became basically an oligarch of the Russian oil industry. And so now it just really seems like your boy, who is so conciliatory
Don't
towards
call him my boy.
Trumpty Dumpty, who's so conciliatory towards Vladimir Putin, is now just swept away all of our troops at this important border and giving it to him, giving him foothold in the region. You know, we have a military base in Turkey.
True.
You know, we have bases in Qatar. Like this is power, right?
Right.
When you stand there on your porch, on somebody else's porch even, with a gun, fully loaded, cocked, motherfuckers act differently around you. So that's the kind of on a larger scale, I think the power that we've been establishing globally.
Unless
That's American
everybody
colonialism.
in the block has a gun. And that's really what it is. Like, people are forgetting that everybody on the block has a gun. You're not the only person on the block with a gun. Everybody got a gun.
Trump just let Russia on the block with guns. That's what he's doing now. He's letting them on the block.
But everybody still on the block's got a gun. He didn't take anybody's gun away. He just took our guns away.
And
took
weakened
our
our
guns
weakened
away.
our position there, right? I mean,
He took our guns away, but
right.
he didn't take their guns
So
away. They still got guns.
In a potential gunfight, when you take guns away, would you say that weakens or strengthens your position? I think.
If you take somebody's gun away that shouldn't be fighting in the fight.
I mean, if you want to argue that we shouldn't have ever been there in the first place, that's a whole other argument. The reality is we were there.
Right.
We had a deal with the Kurds to be there.
Right.
To hold off this Turkish force from invading that part of the country, that part of Syria, right?
True.
And we reneged on that.
But
Trumpty Dumpty
how
backed out on
long
that.
do you fight? That's my thing is, how long do you stay there and fight? You can't just fight forever.
Longer than we did.
Longer.
That's
Okay,
literally
so
all I can say about that.
I'm gonna
is
get in
like,
a fight with somebody, and we're gonna see how long you gonna fight with me.
listen, like I said,
Uh-huh.
pull out game is tight, ladies. I know.
This
I ain't
pull-out
gonna be
game
half
is
an hour
not
later
as-
talking about, okay, now I'm ready. All right. We right at the cusp, and then we out. Eject, y'all.
Well, the lady's just standing there like, I wasn't ready. I wasn't even done.
Hey, mission accomplished every time. Ha! Hey guys, we're Savage AF right here on Marcus King Presents Dash Comedy. I am Black Pedro.
I'm Jaylyn Bishop.
Got my co-host Jaylyn Bishop sitting in for Shang. Speedy recovery to you, brother. We're gonna take a quick break. When we get back from the break, a few things we need to talk about here. My girl Elizabeth Warren laid out some details for her K through 12 education plan, very important. Mm-hmm. We got some reversals on these college admission scam, please. Okay, some reneging on that part. And then speaking of scamming and making deals, that's what Big Pharma is up to right nowadays, guys. So right here, Savage AF, Marcus King Presents Dash Comedy. Take a quick break. We'll be back, guys. Stay tuned in. Yeah. Something like that. Something like this. Something like that. And something like this. Hey. Are we on or not? I don't even know what's going on. So, hey. I feel like this is part of the news clip when they think they're off, and then he goes, God damn it, Sally, you fucked up again. I hate working with it.
Can you hear it?
A little bit, yeah. But I thought we was going to break to play music.
You can hear it?
Yeah. It's kind of.
This is on. Wait.
I was kidding. I'm already black. It's funny as mom, and it was hilarious because you get to meet the president, right? And I was like, I don't want to be stupid and say something really retarded. Tonight, somebody's going to be drunk. And you know what? It always happens, right? It always happens that you get so drunk. When you first start drinking, you just be like, here's to the birthday. Happy birthday. Here's to Friday. Made it through the week. Here's to Saturday. The Saturday comes before I hope I ain't embarrassing y'all. Woo! Hey. You gonna get us put out of here. I'm gonna have one more. Cause I'm not drunk. I'm tipsy. But I ain't drunk. I've been drunk before. Cause last time like a couple weeks ago, I ain't got drunk, right? But tonight I'm not drunk. I mean, I'm feeling it a little bit. Pizza. America's funniest mom, and it was hilarious because you get to meet the president, right? And I was like, I don't want to be stupid and say something really retarded. And they tell you everything you can say to the president, and it was President Bush at the time. And they say, okay, we'll tell you what you can say and tell you what you can't say. I was like, okay, I got it. We go to the receiving line, and the president was like, Jay, I love what you did on the show. You were hilarious. The way the rest of them chicks were getting all mad. And you were just juggling them apples. Every time you ate pizza, you just played around. I love how you did that. He goes, now, let's pose for a picture. Put your fingers up, we're number one. I said, President Bush, I didn't win. He was like, what do you mean? You didn't win. You were hilarious. I said, I know, but the Pakistani woman won. He said, let me get this straight. America's funniest mom and a Pakistani wins. And they call me fucking stupid. My name is Jaylyn Bishop. Thank you so much.
Yeah, we right back at it, y'all. Savage AF right here on Marcus King Presents Dash Comedy. I am your boy, Black Pedro, and what you just heard during our break was the one and only, my special guest co-host this week, Miss Jaylyn Bishop. Yeah. Make sure you follow her at Jaylyn Bishop. Jaylyn, you're hilarious. As
Thank
always.
you.
We love hearing you. What's it like being on the cruise ships and performing for just like, you never know as long as they can afford it, they can get on the cruise ship. Like,
Yeah, that's what you say.
so I mean, but what's it like? You must get all types and families and kids, and what's it like performing on the ship?
It's amazing. It's frightening sometimes because like you have to see a lot of people in swimsuits.
Yes.
And it never is the people that should be in swimsuits. Never the swimsuits. It's from I would say the ages of people that are on the cruise ships are from 2 to 90.
Yeah. That's your demo.
It's amazing. You never know. You have to change your shows all the time and be up on current events and know what's happening. And
that's it.
And so it's good times. You can see that I'm having a good time right around the middle. I look like I ate a cruise ship.
No, you're killing it on these ships, girl. We love it. All right, so Savage AF right here. Marcus King Presents Dash Comedy, guys. Before the break, we were talking about
Pull out.
pulling on out. And speaking of pulling out, Elizabeth Warren has pulled out her educational plan and laid it on the table.
Finally.
Well, she had
detail.
She had released a plan for sort of the higher education.
That's right.
And even some child care stuff, but hadn't really laid out what she wanted to do with that critical K through 12.
That's right.
Section of our education, is a little thing we call most of our lives. And so she laid out a detailed plan, and a couple of things that I thought were really important that she addressed, and probably the most important things that I think she's trying to address with this is sort of segregation and inequality in our public versus private educations in America. One thing she wants to do is kind of inject money back into the public school systems, basically this $100 billion plan, which would, over 10 years, which it basically equates to $1 million per school in America.
I'm gonna go back.
Right? And like, finally fixed the pool in my middle school so I could swim again.
I didn't get the $1 million education.
No, definitely not. Coming out of Detroit public schools, I did not get. I mean, we great teachers, but the facilities, you know what I mean? Like, if you weren't a dedicated, focused kid, it'd be easy to slip through the cracks in a system
easy,
like
because
that.
they pass you.
Yeah, and there's other, distractions, things, poverty. There were times in class where we had to wear our full winter clothes because it's fucking freezing.
I thought it was because it's Detroit and they be shooting.
No. That triple fat goose ain't gonna stop them bullets.
You need a couple layers to cover that. This is what I think about the whole thing. The education system has been messed up for a really long time.
Right.
And we have to address the things that make that messed up.
Right.
Like, segregation, of course it's going to be segregated because you're now going to school in the area where you live. She wants to take away zoning, and you have to take away that zoning and allow people to go to any school. That'll change it. It'll help for affordable housing in neighborhoods, because if the neighborhood is going to get more money for a public school, then obviously you're going to go.
How do you feel about her plan to finance it, which would be a tax, a wealth tax?
A wealth tax.
On incomes over 50 million.
I think that would be perfect, but I mean, is it going to happen?
I mean, it makes sense.
It makes sense to get the money from them.
Obviously, if you have more than $50 million income, you might have some type of feelings about this, but Jesus Christ, man, how much fucking money do you need? I mean,
I need all my 50 million.
if you look at I don't think you need.
I need
You want it.
all my 50
You
million.
want it. It's
I
fun to
need
count
all my 50
It's
million.
fun to count the 50 millions, but when we think, you're existing now without the 50 millions. So,
Barely.
look at me.
I'm skin and bones.
Exactly.
But this is the thing, it's not only the funding that's going to help it. It's fundamentally education has been, especially teachers. When you think about the teachers, over 76% of the people that are teachers are women. And the reason why is it was systematically made that way because they know that they could pay women less. So you've got to go and you've got to start you've got to change that background. You've got to change so much in the public school system that I really think that charter schools are almost the way to go.
See that?
And Elizabeth Warren was down for charter schools at first, and now that she threw her hat in the ring again, and she needs the teachers to support her, now she's coming out. So that's kind of a wishy-washy thing because she was down for charter school.
It's called politics, and Barack Obama evolved in his politics. He went from marriages between a man and a woman to let them gays get married, boo. You know what I mean?
Go on, boo. Do you?
Between
they were
the two
all
elections,
around
he spoke to the bases that he needed to speak to.
And when you do that,
but he also kept his word, right? Like
yes, he did.
He did not pull out on those communities. To say that again. Heyo. But he kept his word on that. So one might say that he might have actually evolved or whatever, but at least his words were true both times when he said them.
I don't know how true Elizabeth Warren is.
Well, I think when I was reading about this part of her educational plan, it's that I think it's a recognition that there is a concerted effort for this corporate interest takeover of education, right? Which I think much of what the charter system represents is that. And it seems to be in a lot of areas, almost a purposeful damaging, corrupting of the public education system in lieu of these charter schools. So you can be like, well, this is all we've got now. We have to turn to well, yeah, if you destroy the other thing too, the other option. And I don't think we're trying to take away charter schools at all. Let's give everybody as many options as they can.
Yes.
But not at the sake of entire public school systems, right?
Right. No,
Like,
I don't think you should take away public school systems, but I think that you have to almost gut the whole system in order to make it better. Because there's so many things wrong with public school.
Well, and certain systems are better than others.
And
certain cities and whatever have better resources, apply them better.
That's right.
And that's so let's maybe use those models of those systems to help the rest of the nation. Certainly needs a cash injection into them.
Definitely.
Another issue with charter schools is oversight. I mean, I think one of the things
there's not a governing body to keep them.
And one of the things that Warren is addressing or trying to address is this lack of oversight and a seeming almost like a fast tracking of some of these schools and sidestepping, certain criteria, certain requirements that you would normally have to go to set up a legitimate school. So I think in this rush to corporatize education, you get into the dangers of cutting corners, slacking off. You know what I mean? Like
True.
People just trying to get the money instead of.
But so
actually
does. But
educating
when
the
you
kids.
think about that, getting the money, that is what like high stakes testing is doing for public schools. Charter schools don't do high stakes testing. They do low stake testing.
Right.
And low stake testing, for those of you guys don't know, if you have children out there, don't let them test your child on a high stakes.
Right.
Because high stakes always goes with your child throughout life. That means just because you was dumb in first grade don't mean that you a dummy now.
Everybody
That's
a dummy
20
in
years.
first
That's you a
grade.
dummy in first grade. Just because I can't read in first grade don't mean I'm a dummy now. But high stakes will follow you the entire time
And that's-
to
that- and
college.
that's- yeah,
but
and-
low stakes means just you and your mama know you dumb,
And not just the
and the teacher.
and the high stakes testing too and it's something that Warren wants to eliminate. in
Yeah,
the
she
plan
does
as
want to
well.
eliminate that.
Because it's not just harmful in terms of the stigma for an individual student.
True.
But it stigmatizes that school,
The
right?
school and the
school,
teacher.
So like if you don't meet these certain testing standards now, you don't get the
don't get
funding
funding.
and the resources that you would obviously need to raise your test scores.
That's right.
So it becomes this vicious cycle of just underfunding, undertreatment of the public education system. So yeah, a wealth tax, give $1 million per school over 10 years is basically what Elizabeth Warren wants to do. You touched on it too. Another very important issue is that she wants to make this a gender issue as well.
Yes, it is a
Because
gender
it is a
issue.
gender issue. Both, and it's something you also touched on, but both teacher unions do support this plan above all others right now. Like they love this plan.
It's a good plan. I mean, it's
But
a
like
good
you said,
plan.
most teachers are women. And
You're not getting touched
the
at-
wage
at
and
school.
the union busting that's going on with teacher unions is like all of this is tied, and Elizabeth Warren wants to address this in her plan. So I'm applauding her plan.
I am.
Like,
As long as she doesn't flip flop on the plan, I think that it's a really, really good plan.
I don't get flip flop from Elizabeth Warren.
You don't? No, she does
I
seem
get
like
solid
she,
footwear out of her. You know what I mean?
solid footwear,
ankle support,
like
traction.
she wears.
Yeah.
So she's not. She's
not
wearing.
actually flip flop. Yeah, thonging
She's-
it out in the streets.
No, she don't thong it, right? She wears like what kind of like Birkenstock? She's not a Birkenstock.
Maybe them Crocs with the latch in
With
the
the
back,
little
with
holes
hoop
in 'em?
Yeah, the Crocs. She might do that.
I've never seen Elizabeth Warren's footwear. Now that I think about
I
it,
think
I
she
haven't
just does the
seen
conservative
her
low heel
footwear.
thing,
She does a
like-
low hit.
I
She's
think so.
not a kitten heel. She's not a kitten heel person.
Now you're getting outside of my
Now
heel.
I'm going. Yeah,
My
okay,
heel knowledge is
yeah,
not.
your heel knowledge is.
I'm a
like,
man.
Yeah.
All right, this savage as fuck.
Oh,
Right here, Marcus King present Dash. We don't be presenting no bras and no heels and shit, okay?
as
Ma-
you had a lisp with that.
See,
I'm a
let me
man.
tell you something.
I'm a man. I don't wear no heels.
Speaking
Look.
of manning up, God damn it, one of my favorite scandals. One of my favorite scandals of this year has been the college admission scandal.
Oh
right?
yes, I wish my parents had money. Oh, my mama can't even get me into a bakery.
I had to get it in the old-fashioned way, affirmative action.
I had to get in the old-fashioned way.
Oh, Dean Dickham down, got him in again.
My arms are strong. Oh, the math
Amazing.
teacher. Oh.
I didn't know you went to San Diego State. Girl, stop. I'm playing San Diego State, you nasty school. But the recent admissions scandal, you got all these rich parents, Aunt Becky, actors, fashion designers, people falling left and right.
They're not going to jail. They're
Felicity
rich
Huffman
and white.
is in jail right now.
No, she gets sentenced a month from now.
No. She's in. Felicity Huffman is in. I
thought
I saw a picture of her. She's serving like 14 days. She'll be out by the end
14
of this show.
days. Oh my
She'll be out by
gosh.
the end of this episode. But
She's 14 days and she's probably sitting in the warden's office.
yeah,
With the doors locked. She's got her internet.
she's got
That's
she's got
not
the job
jail.
where you let people in and out of the jail.
She's not getting her
They gave
hair
the key to the
braided.
front door. Yeah, no, it's all good.
There's not a chick that shows up with a pineapple in one hand
and a Brillo
and a Brillo pad.
Swiffer.
Which one you want? Which
you want
one
the
you
Swiffer
want?
or the Pina?
Yeah, nobody's doing that. But honestly, are people mad at them because they got caught, or are you mad at them because your parents didn't have the money to do it?
No, I mean, I
Because you
think
really had to read to get in.
I think I think people should be and are mad at this notion of just rich and powerful people just doing whatever the hell they want to do.
But that's what it means when you're rich and powerful. You
No.
supposed to shit on other people.
No.
Yes, Pedro.
No.
Stop playing.
You
so
sound-
you trying
you
to
sound
tell
like
me
you would-
Republican.
You would be a really shitty Spider-Man. All right, with great power comes great responsibility.
Spider-Man
Also-
ain't got no money.
Exactly, but he has great power.
He's just a poor,
He could-
broke superhero.
He could go out and get that money though.
He
rob
could.
any
I
bank.
would be making money if I was
I
Spider-Man.
said you'd be a shitty Spider-Man.
I'd be
that's-
amazing Spider-Man
No,
because
there's
I
already an
have
amazing
money.
Spider-Man.
I have money.
That's not what makes it.
I'm
see,
not because
great
let
responsibility.
me ask you
You can be
this.
rich and powerful, but be responsible with that money, right? Like.
So you're supposed to give it to other people.
No, well, I'm just okay. In the case of like Lori Loughlin or Felicity Huffman.
Yes.
Just take the time to sit your rich kids down and be like, look,
Well, the kid is
you're
stupid.
dumb. Yeah,
The
you're
kid is
dumb.
stupid.
Like, babe, but listen, it don't matter. I bought you a new Bentley. You're beautiful. You've got a business online. Do that. You don't need school. Like, but that's the parents being like, they want to sit at the cocktail party and be like, oh yes, they're at Harvard or they're at SC or they're at
Yes,
Stanford.
yes.
And it's like, just listen.
Don't nobody want to say your baby's dumb.
Your baby is dumb.
No one
If
wants
you-
to
listen,
do that.
if
No
you have
one
to
is
pay-
going to do that.
If you have to pay $500,000
That means your baby
just to
is
bribe your child in, not even the tuition, just to bribe them into the school, initiation fee, your kid is dumb as fuck.
That means you've been doing that for a long time. That means your baby can't even write their own name. But did you see the kid on Instagram? She said she really wasn't even going to go to
She
school.
did. Lori Loughlin's daughter,
Yeah.
Olivia, she didn't even.
She's like, I don't
wanna.
even really want to go to
She
school.
was like, I'll go to a couple games, but whatever.
And parties.
Yeah, she don't think.
But honestly, and I have to admit, I'm not saying that this is right because it isn't right because you're taking from someone else, especially that type of scholarship because it's an athletic scholarship. But how many? And they're saying, well, you're taking away from children that deserve this scholarship from lower income. How many low income
crew
people do you know? Ain't nobody yachting in your
I
neyborhood.
get what you're saying. I hear
They
what you're
took it
saying.
away from another rich kid that just wasn't as rich as them. That's what they took it away from. So it wasn't.
Okay.
Yes, go
But-
ahead.
But more importantly, right? Because you gotta understand, like this is it's like the same thing that Michael Vick went down for, right? People think Michael Vick went down for fighting dogs in the backyard, right?
No, he went down because white people don't like you mistreating a dog.
No, that's not even it. That is not even it.
What, did the dogs turn on him?
That's what white people are shouting and crying. That's why they vilify him. But why Michael Vick went to jail is for racketeering. It's for
Oh, yeah,
putting
true,
money
true.
around that, right? And
True,
circulating,
true.
paying out money around that thing. Okay.
so they're gonna catch a
So
couple.
that's what this admission scandal is really about, right? It's that not only are these people bribing their way into school, but it's the methodology, right? It's Felicity Huffman paying somebody to pay somebody to alter their child's SAT test,
yeah.
the Scholastic Aptitude Test. It's supposed to be this sort of definitive, as objective as it can be, test that allows anybody to see where they're at in terms of their, potential college skills. So
High
once you allow money to start corrupting those things, you know, the tests, the coaches, the admissions officers, and things like that, that becomes a problem. So I don't think any of
But
us
why
should
are
be,
we shocked with that when that is something that's happened for years and years?
whether you're shocked or not, you know, shock doesn't do anything, right? It's an
No.
emotional response that doesn't actually do anything. So be shocked, but once we get over that shock, let's understand what happened and now respond responsibly, like the impeachment inquiry that's going on. It's like, all right, look, this has gotten fucking ridiculous.
True.
We need to look into this.
True.
We need to do so. If nothing more for the sake to say that the
You're
next
fired, Donald. You're fired.
yeah, but
You're
the next
fired.
person coming along can't act like this, right?
True.
You can't just have parents thinking that they can just buy their kids' way into these elite schools. I mean, I don't even know why as a school, as an institution, you wouldn't want that, right? Like
Right.
you don't want your reputation to be that you don't have the brightest and the
True.
best there, right? You don't want just the richest and the most socially media-ist, right? Right? Like you want fucking education in your educational institution. So I don't think it's a good look for anybody. So don't be mad if you are out there. Don't be mad at these people just for being rich, right?
But I think most people are mad at them for that.
Be mad at them for being rich, abusing the power, but then be happy that they now have gotten caught.
Let me ask you something. Have you ever, because it's pretty much a favor with cash involved,
Right.
right? Have you ever used what you have to get something that maybe you possibly didn't deserve? Because that's really what it comes down to. It's like using something that you have to get something that you don't necessarily deserve, but
Yeah.
that is going to better your life.
Absolutely.
If you had the money, and you did, so do you think you deserve?
If I had the money, I
Would
would
you-
not do this for my kids.
You would not.
I think that, because I think it does a disservice
You're
to
gonna
your
have to
children.
pay for them for the rest of your life if this ding
Listen,
dong doesn't get an
listen,
education.
My future son, if you ever watch this, if you don't have the grades, if you can't cut it, if school ain't your thing, Negro, you are going to Wyotech. You're gonna learn how to fix motorcycles, dog. Niggas with motorcycles need them fixed. I mean, you're gonna become an electrician. Solar panels.
Let me
right?
tell you.
There are vocations out there, and I had to go to college. Like we talked about this on the show. I went to an elite university, but
And his mama paid for it.
well, she paid for what she had to, but not all of it. Right? We were broke, so I had loans, right? I owe, but
Fannie Mae.
the reality is, I have the mental capacity to do that, to operate.
So
at
you're
that level.
smart.
But yeah, I'm smart enough to go to college, at least that level. So my mom's gonna push me to do that, right? If I see that my child doesn't have talents in this area of education, I'm not gonna push them to do that. My child is 5 feet tall, 110 pounds. We not slapping that football helmet on him. No, son. Badminton, that's your game. You know what I'm saying?
But I
right?
think that
Table tennis.
my thing is, if my parents had the money to put me through college, I would have been like, nah. I would have went.
Yeah, that's good.
I would have went, and if I had the money to put
But
my child
put you
through,
legally or bribe you into college?
even maybe bribe me. I'm not saying that I wouldn't have. I wouldn't have
I don't
went.
think none of these kids, as far as I know, knew what their parents were doing.
Oh, I think they did. You know you dumb. You can't tell me. Okay, this is the thing. You cannot tell me that these kids
like, but
didn't
I didn't
know.
answer any of the
You know
questions.
you
How I
dumb.
get a-
How did you didn't take the SAT? Everybody else was talking about the SAT. You handed your pencil to somebody and went over and ate at a restaurant. You
Maybe.
knew what was going on.
Maybe, yeah.
Your parents said, don't say anything
Just
as soon
shut
as
the
you
hell
have
up.
to go and have a meeting with the dean, don't open your mouth.
Right.
Because he's gonna know you. Be like, "Duh, well, my name is duh." They're gonna know you dumb. And I honestly think you're right with the racketeering part.
That's what's going to get
That's
you
what
every
makes
time.
you. But is
That's
it
when
going
the government
to?
gonna step in on you.
But is
They
it
don't want
going
you.
to make anybody not want to do it? She only got 14 days. I
Yeah.
can do 14 days.
14 days, but that's because she cooperated.
I can do 14
I'm
days.
really interested to see what Lori Loughlin gets after putting up a fuss and trying
She
to
gonna
fight
get
it.
3 days.
She gonna get 15.
Full
days.
house is gonna get 3 days.
But right now, I think what's going on though is that they are seeing that the government is serious. So you have people like Douglas Hodge. He was a former CEO of an investment group, PIMCO. Him, a couple other people. They're now asking for that plea deal.
Yeah.
They were first gonna fight it, and now they're like,
Because they know they're going to get 3 days.
But if they can handle they just do the 3 days.
They're going to do the 3 days.
I think the reality is they might get more serious time.
They're going to get street cred, just like Martha Stewart.
There you go. There you go. Roll that shit up. Roll that shit up.
Yeah. They're going to be doing a video with Snoop Dogg. 2 Chainz.
All right. So the motherfuckers that need to be in jail, though.
Will never go.
Speaking of Snoop Dogg and 2 Chainz.
They need to go to jail?
No, but
I was like, what'd they do?
I'm sure most of America thinks that. Look at them. They're Negroes, right? Big Pharma.
Ooh.
Who, so much
Opioids.
like, yeah, and much like these parents who are now backing out of these court fights and taking plea deals. Recently, 3 of the biggest pharmaceutical companies went that route as well. Right?
True. Plea
They're
deal.
like, maybe we shouldn't fight this thing. Maybe we should just settle out of court and just keep it moving.
True.
Just pay. What did they have to pay? Like a 250?
It was like $250 million.
That's pittance, right?
Yeah, because
They
of all
killed
the
a couple
money that they
100,000
made.
people over the past decade or so.
And I said I would pay them in pennies. If I have to pay money back, if I get sued, whoever ever sues me, I'm going to pay you in pennies.
Just pay a dude.
I'm paying you in pennies. I'm coming with
Dump truck
17 bags of pennies.
and be like, 1, 2,
2, 3.
push them over one at a time.
Shit, my parents didn't pay for my education. Got to start again. 1, 2. That's what I'm doing.
So it's McKesson Corp, Cardinal Health, and AmerisourceBergen Corp, which is an Israeli-based drug maker. And an Israeli-based drug maker, Teva Pharmaceutical. These are the 4 companies settled with a couple of counties in Ohio over this money here.
Can you sue a crack
Actually, it's only
dealer?
$215 million, not even $250 million.
215. That's still a lot of money. Can you sue a crack dealer?
I mean, that's an interesting question. I guess, okay, so if you're suing a crack dealer, I'm assuming that you are probably a crackhead?
But you could be a
Who feels
social
wrong.
crackhead
Yeah, I know. I'm not, no judgment in your crackheadry.
in your
right?
crackness.
You're right, in your cracknicity, right? I guess you could. I would assume that, though, if you crackhead, I'm assuming you're not recreational, though, that you're just going pro and you're doing it full time.
No, if you do it like if you're a social crackhead,
No.
like you do it with friends.
No, I get it, but
So it's
most
not
most
it's not like
crackheads
every
aren't
day.
social. Yeah.
It's not every day. It's like a semi-weekly.
I mean, but can a crackhead afford a lawyer to litigate with the crack dealer?
Can an opioid head do it even?
I mean, I guess not, right? But I guess.
Because I wonder who sued it. Because like if you're all strung out on opiates,
Well,
who's suing you? Your parents or somebody else?
Oh no, I mean in this case in particular, it's literally Cuyahoga County in Ohio.
So the
like,
state is suing you
yeah, like
because
the
now they have so many.
specifically this county in Ohio, or a couple of counties in Ohio, were suing these companies because if you think about it,
How can they do that?
well, why not? I mean, when you're county commissioner, you're on the county board,
Right,
whatever,
right.
and you step out on your county porch and you look out every morning and you see, opioid heads, right? Meth heads, whatever.
How you doing?
Heroin addicts.
Good morning.
Just strung out all over your county, right? And they're dying. And you got a resource to pick them up and bury the people and take care of the people and health and emergency rooms and
But don't they have to do that for
crime,
crack? Why wouldn't they do the same thing for crack?
niggas. That's why. It's little thing. I'm gonna put that in your shot there. But yeah, little.
So you're just saying just because
it's like Chappelle. It's like Chappelle.
yeah,
said,
because
right?
it's white, it's a problem.
It becomes there's a different focus on it when a certain demographic is affected versus others.
Well, don't you think that that's to some degree that's our fault because we don't fight as hard?
I mean, I think it's to a degree you could say yes, but to be honest, like what part of the American system has really told black people in mass as a group that, hey, we're here for you. I mean, I think in that sense, we've had more of a Kurdish experience, where it's like certain groups, they say, oh yeah, we're gonna fight for you, blah, blah, blah. And then we get to the polls or we get to the thing, to the dance, and it's not our song anymore, right? Like they moved the finish line, like something
Well, they
else.
jizzed on us from the beginning.
Hey, and nobody ever wiped it off, you know?
No, so
now
we've
we
just
crunchy,
been
we
looking through the
crustified,
jizz
yeah.
the whole time.
Yeah, the wiper stopped working on your goggles. Yeah, so I don't think there's any part of the American system that's ever really told us. So when crack was an epidemic,
Yeah, it was an
in the hood,
epidemic. Who
I'm
was-
sure there were people crying out about it, but
But who was suing anybody at that time?
well, yeah, I mean, no, exactly.
And now that's the thing, and now it's okay to sue.
Yeah, Wayne County
I'm like,
and
this
Detroit-
Is,
well, like
where
Detroit's-
was Wayne County suing then?
Yeah,
Who
yeah,
were
no,
they suing?
weren't
Nobody.
the city of Detroit wasn't like, hey, but also it wasn't at that time. There wasn't a direct source that you could go to, right? It wasn't like we knew then that the CIA was dealing these drugs and then filtering them down to Rick Ross to divide up in America, right?
But that's because we didn't search for it. The information was there. We just didn't search for
well,
it
and,
because
well,
you
there was
knew
also
Rick
classified
Ross wasn't flying things
Right,
in,
right.
so we knew it all the
Right,
time.
right.
We just didn't
You
fight
could-
for it.
And this classified information, once we get that,
Again,
then we
like
can
the
confirm.
phone call, classified information.
But now with this, it's clearly big pharma, right? Like,
Right,
it's,
right.
there's this clear pattern
There's a
of
person to point
too
to.
many pills went to these areas. Too many pills were given out according to prescriptions. Like, it's legitimately foul, right? Like it's documented, scripts were written, and then when that gets cut off, then people turn to the street drugs, right? But the clear path of how this the path of how this happened is much more clear than the crack epidemic.
But don't you think that you also have to, instead of just getting after big pharma, don't you think that there should be doctors that also should be going down? Because you have to, big pharma can't write you a prescription. Your doctor's office wrote that prescription.
Come on, absolutely.
So there ought to be so many people. That's, I think, the problem with, if I say, when we try to fix something, just like with the school system, we try to fix one little small thing. And you can't fix one little small thing. You got to go in and almost gut the system, like I said, and then start over. Because there should be doctors going to jail. There should be nurses. There should be clinics shut down. There should be whole hospitals taken. You should sue everybody. You don't just sue the dude that's making it.
But all these things that you're saying make sense to me in my liberal democratic mind. So I'm with you on that.
Always got to bring up he's a Democrat.
But in the reality, what's really happening now is that the pharmaceutical companies, I can't remember the name of the drug, but they're about to come out with a new drug that's supposed to be 100 times more powerful and addictive than fentanyl.
Wow.
And it's like, after this, in the midst of this opioid crisis, why?
I wonder if they'll give.
Why would you need a more powerful painkiller sedative drug than those that we already have to get the people who are now used to that drug hooked on something else? Like, I don't get it. Like, if you're making something past fentanyl, like fentanyl is like
The worst. That's the devil.
They say it's like the worst. It's like the most.
Will they give Shang fentanyl?
It's like having raw sex with heroin. You know what I mean? Like,
wow.
Like to a bag of heroin. It's just, they say. So they say. Just stick your dick in a bag of heroin, shake it on around, baby. That's the party. That's fentanyl.
I wonder if it'll still stand up or will it just go limp?
It depends on the day. I guess it depends on the
That's, oh, wow. Fentanyl.
So, yeah.
But you know what? You used to be able to use fentanyl to lose a little weight.
Is that what that used to be for?
Yeah.
Really?
Fen-phen.
Is that is
Yeah,
like the saying?
fen-phen was to lose weight. So if anybody has a little bit of fen-phen out, I'm not
Just
I'm not
street
saying
value
a
is
lot of fen-phen, but just enough
a little
fen-phen
bit.
so that I can get thin. That's all I want. I mean, I don't want it crackhead thin. I just want it like small, like medium. I just want to be medium.
Medium.
So yeah, so if anybody has a little bit of fen-phen still left, I don't know what the street value is, but I got $20.
I'm sure we'll find somebody who could chop that up for us. So we'll figure that out.
Yeah, so I'll give me a little bit of fen-fen if you got a little fen-fen. Ain't nothing wrong with a little bit of
I agree with you though.
opioids in your life.
I hope I would like to see.
Shang, give me some of that fen-fen.
Yeah, man. Save some of them. I would like to see more entities in this thing go down.
Yeah, I want to see everybody want to go down. I want to see the
the
doctor,
pharmacies themselves,
everybody.
CVS's and all these things that were.
Because when it came to crack, think about it. They were taking the kids off the streets that were selling. They were taking the runners off the streets, and the runners those were the guys that were going to jail. The Rick Rosses, those are the guys going to jail. So if we if you're going to reverse it, don't just reverse it and have the person who is making it. Come on, everybody needs to go to jail. Put everybody in a van. Let's all go. We going down.
Reagan should have gone to jail.
For real.
Like Ronald Reagan should have gone to jail for that shit. But whatever. We talking crazy, girl. Is this thing on? Hey guys, we are Savage AF right here. Marcus King presents Dash Comedy. I am your boy Black Pedro. In the studio with me, I have special co-host Jaylyn Bishop. Many well wishes to Shang out there, guys. Listen.
Give me some of that.
Yeah, we gonna need some of them drugs, brother. We're gonna take another quick break. When we get back, we're getting into some questions here. Tulsi Gabbard, presidential candidate for 2020 on the Democrat side. Is she working for Russia? Dum, dum, dum. Question marks around that. And then Facebook says they done caught some more 2020 tampering from Russia and Iran. So we're going to get into that, guys. Savage as fuck right here. Marcus King presents Dash Comedy. Stay with us, guys. I guess, really stay with us because we're not going to go quite to break yet. What we are going to do is remind you that you do need to, I don't know if you've heard in the past few weeks, but we have peaked at number 45 so far on the political charts for iTunes. So Savage AF, number 45 political podcast in America right now, in the world. I should say, not just America.
World.
Yeah, worldwide, seriously.
Woo.
And I think we've gotten up to like number 117 out of all podcasts in the world. There's like 700,000 podcasts.
Oh my gosh, that's
amazing.
amazing.
We're trying to build that momentum and energy, guys. So make sure that you follow, subscribe, like, rate, and then most importantly, just like these opioids, we need you to share them, okay? Spread them on around through the community. Get everybody hooked on this shit, all right? We want savage junkies. Savage as fuck junkies right in your neighborhood. That's right.
Righteous.
That's what we need.
Walking
y'all.
with your house coat on.
Yeah.
With your slippers. That's kind of
mismatched slippers.
That's
not even the same. One is your slipper and one is your mama's house shoe.
Oh, that's what we want. We want you strung
shower
out.
cap. One kitchen glove on, one of the dishwashing gloves on, okay?
Not even the what is that little plastic one? You want that old school?
Yeah, the yellow joint. Come down to mid-forearm here.
Oh yeah.
The Sud Buster is what they call it.
Oh yeah, you want that yellow one.
Yeah. So make sure
with a half a scrunchie in your head. That's how hung out want you to be. We want you to be so strung
out on the Savage AF, y'all. So make sure you go on iTunes, subscribe, download, share that shit, rate it, comment. We love you. Thank you. Taking a quick break. Savage AF, Marcus King presents Dash Comedy. When we come back, guys, stay tuned.